collecting comics, collecting video games. That was my life in the 80s. And our father, who we would see every weekend in the Bronx, would constantly try to find ways to connect with us. My father was into, Asian culture. He taught us Taoism, introduced us to Buddhism. And so because he knew we were into the comic books, he used to, buy these books that were teaching Buddhist lessons, you know what I'm saying? And it turns out that, nowadays, this is what we call manga. I guess it was called manga back then. I didn't know nothing. I was a kid. But he started, sharing these lessons with us through these manga, little books too, even smaller than what typically manga books are today. Later on, as we used to go to Forbidden Planet in the city, he started collecting another book called Lone Wolf and Cub. Now, Lone Wolf and Cub followed a samurai and his adventures with his little infant son as they would, traverse through the dangerous land. He was a Ronin, and I never actually really read Lone Wolf and Cub. It was just something that my father liked because he was in the Japanese culture. He started collecting the comics because he knew, his sons were in the comics. And the irony is, I at least liked what he was collecting, with the Lone Wolf and Cub comic, because an artist named Frank Miller was drawing those comics at the time. And Frank Miller was one of my favorite artists because he drew the Wolverine comics at the and later did the Batman Dark Knight. So it's ironic to think about now how all those experiences have helped shape and build me to the point that they come 360 as I enter into this space of comic books, comic book creation, and decide that I'm going to create an anime called Black Lion and Cubs as a throwback to, my memories and experiences of that comic book that my own father introduced to me.